Hi. So it's been a minute. Basically, things came up, so don't worry about it. Anyway, we are finally back with Movie Monday, and today we watched The Shape of Water, which I mistook for being a Spanish film because of Guillermo del Toro.
Wow, that's so presumptuous of you.
Yeah, literally,
I think
we started the movie and Maya's like, we gotta get subtitles, and we were both like, why? And Maya's like, because it's in Spanish.
I guess I was thinking of Pan's Labyrinth because that was in Spanish, but this one was not in Spanish. But yeah, we watched The Shape of Water, and none of us have seen it before.
I didn't.
I don't remember why I picked this movie. I think I might have watched like a YouTube video that talked about it, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" But that was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, the immediate thing that I didn't expect was I didn't expect that this was like supposed to take place in like I assume like the early '60s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I checked the Wikipedia page. It's supposed to be like 1962-ish.
Okay, I just assumed it was like modern day, you know.
Yeah, me too.
But nope. So okay.
I all I've seen is the trailer, of which I also did not realize it took place during Soviet eras.
The Cold War.
Cold War stuff. I
Yeah.
kind of just assumed that it just took place in the 1900s at some point.
I never even watched. Well, I don't remember watching a trailer. I just knew like the premise.
I had heard of it. I think my first way of learning about this film was that someone was like, "Oh, it got an Academy Award." And I was like, "Oh, what is this?" Then I briefly looked at the Wikipedia, and then I watched the trailer, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And yeah, um, I guess we should talk about the movie. um,
My reaction overall is without changing that much, mostly just changing like dialogue and like a couple scenes
Mm-hmm.
and make it animated. This would basically be a Disney movie.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah,
That...
it's really funny how they do how that's like it's not just like the story or whatever, which is a lot of it. It's definitely kind of a it's like a fairy tale story, but like
Yeah.
even like the music kind of feels like Disney-ish for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
know why. So again, you'd have to change like definitely some scenes, like what happens in the bathroom. But you know, it like again the dialogue obviously, but like the overall story you could tell pretty much almost word for word, and it would work.
Yeah.
like if you were to be like, so let me tell you a story about this. I think in the beginning he even says mute princess. Yeah,
Yeah.
a mute princess goes and meets a prince who is basically being who's basically locked up in this building and everything, and she frees him and they fall in love, and then he takes her back to his kingdom, and
Yeah.
you would be like, yeah, that's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to cut out all the sex and the violence.
And the finger falling off and the cat murder.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of violence.
It is Del Toro.
I was just like, oh, right, yeah, no, this makes sense. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So again, you'd have to change a little, but not anything really majorly.
Like the whole plot is basically a fairy tale.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because you know how adults poo-poo fairy tales and animation, and they really got their sticks up their ass, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing. Okay, so I couldn't remember the guy's name, but then I looked it up, and Michael.
You mean Zod?
Yeah, Michael Shannon is the actor's name, and like it. Yeah, he was. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh boy. So, and I think given the role he's supposed to play, he does a good job.
Yeah.
His role
he's
is
very hateable.
yeah, he's very like he's definitely kind of like, again, he feels like a fairy tale villain in a sense, like in terms of his presentation of himself and how he's just terrible. So
Yeah.
like I'm just thinking, like, if we still were doing this during the 300 movie challenge, like, would he end up on our villains list? Maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know. But yeah, he works really well with that. Let's see, what else did I see? I'm kind of sad that the Wikipedia article says like nothing, unless I just missed it, about like the actual like the creature work, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything about that.
All it says is like basically the actor who is who that is, and that like basically the original premise. But in terms of like actually filming and acting with that, they don't really say anything at all. So because I wanted to know, for example, is that all just like a suit, prosthetics, and makeup, or is there some CG thrown on that? Like, and was there any behind the scenes stuff about like how this could work, and was there anything that was a particular like pain in the ass to do? Because I'd be really curious about that. But it says like nothing on Wikipedia, so I'm just like, well, now I still want to know. I do know the guy, so that it's Doug Jones, and I know he's done like a bunch of stuff like this.
Oh yeah.
Where, because this sounds like a weird thing to say, but his body is weird. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, like the shape of.
he's like really skinny. So that's why there's oftentimes they give him like sort of like creature designs that often have like prosthetics or a suit, because it like you can fit it over his body, because again he's like really weirdly skinny, so it works really well with that. I know he's done other stuff, but like the only thing that comes to mind is he was Slender Man in the fucking terrible movie that was made. But I know he's done other stuff that's not bad, so that's the only thing that's in my head right now.
Like this, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm just like, okay. So, but again, I would want to know more about how that works behind the scenes. And also one thing that I did think was interesting was the guy, I forgot his name.
Giles?
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia said that originally Guillermo del Toro wanted Ian McKellen to play him.
That's funny.
Partly because of, again, the whole like gay man thing, but it was just kind of like, I'm like, actually I could see that, actually, like that would be kind of funny.
I could see that working really well.
You have just like gay artist Gandalf.
Yeah.
I would love
I mean, that would work. It's like Gandalf after he went on the boat and everything, and he's like now a fairy tale kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's a nice headcanon.
And then after he, the two leads swim away and he's left alone, he spirals into a depression and ends up joining Cats.
oh god.
He's like, I'll capture the magic again. No.
I mean, he even has cats.
Yeah, see, it's connected.
It's all related.
Cats was all a fever dream inside this guy's mind.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I was kind of sad that like that was the only like behind the scenes stuff I really saw on Wikipedia, so I want to look more into that.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious.
I was also thinking that. I was like, is this all CG? No, but there's like portions where she's like actually like the characters touch him.
Yeah, my guess is the base of it is like again, it's definitely, at least there's a base that's like a costume and prosthetics.
Yeah.
But like for a lot of this stuff, there's often like a CG sort of like flare on top of it. But
yeah.
I don't know what that would be. Maybe like, because there's like that stuff with like the glowing kind of bits
The
on
light
him.
up stuff.
Right.
Maybe
yeah.
that, but I don't know. That's why I wanted to look. So I want to look into this more because I'm curious. But
yeah.
But that said, I do think it works really well for what they're going for.
Definitely.
So props to, of course, Doug Jones as the performance, but also, again, the departments that were involved in, all of that. So that's a really good job.
I'm also really sad that we don't know too much about it, because I was looking at it and I was like, huh. And then I think the one scene that is probably definitely CG is that very last scene where he's in the water swimming and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that would be my guess, yeah. That, and then I also wonder, well, the bathroom scene, like, how much of that was... Did they actually, like, flood a thing? I don't know. I'm not sure, actually.
Oh yeah, I was like, how does that work, like filming wise?
Well, okay, they definitely didn't like. If they did flood a thing, they like must have like custom built like a thing, like a
Probably,
actual
yeah.
tank kind of room. Because like again, that wooden door would not hold that water like that.
No.
Because like and the thing is like when Giles like opens the door and the water comes out, I'm pretty sure that's way too little water that comes out of that room than what's actually in the room. So like again, I'm not. That's not a nitpick saying oh they did it wrong. No, I'm just saying that like I'm wanting. Basically, I'm there for wanting to know how they did it, basically, because I'm curious. So I'd be curious about that. And yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know more about the behind the scenes stuff of this than what is at least available on Wikipedia. There's probably something somewhere that we can go look for, but we have to go look for it. So yeah. But yeah, despite okay, yes. It's kind of weird. Like, it just is. Okay, so, yes.
There's this one scene that we were like, Valen was basically like, do not ask me about the biology.
I don't know.
And we had a discussion where basically we all realized that we do not know how it works for amphibians. We know how it works for fish. We know how it works for reptiles. Evidently, that was not what happened here, so...
Yeah,
we just won't worry about it.
No, but, yeah, so it is strange in that regard. But, I actually liked this more than I thought I would.
I agree. It was... I knew it was going to be strange.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I do like this more than Pan's Labyrinth. I think
I haven't
Pan's
watched
Labyrinth,
that. I haven't watched that, so I don't know.
I tried, but I didn't get very far into it because there's even more.
There's more gore.
There's more gore, and there's more like very like scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
I mean, I know.
So
I know that one creature that like everyone kind of knows about from that thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about the story or anything else. I just pretty much know that scene.
This is definitely a much... I prefer this. I like this much more.
Yeah, it's one of those where, like, once you sort of, like, accept what's going on, then you can... I was able to enjoy myself a good amount, and...
Same.
Yeah. I know there's probably some people who just kind of can't get into accepting this, which is, I guess, kind of valid, but I would argue, like, I don't know... Try better. I don't know.
Try harder.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I liked this. I don't know what else to say. It was just. It was,
I do find it interesting how I didn't get an opportunity to talk, but I just found it interesting how it was easy to follow the protagonist, Eliza, even though she can't speak, and I appreciate that they were like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna make her mute. We're gonna put subtitles for sign language if you don't understand it. And I remember at least some of the letters because in second grade, my teacher actually taught us the alphabet in sign language, and I remembered most of it. But I thought it was pretty interesting because I feel like there aren't a lot of mute representation, especially for main characters and like these leading roles. And she's a really interesting lady.
Yeah.
Very active. Like, she goes out of her way to do things, and she knows what she wants. And I'm just like, wow, this is such a compelling person. She hasn't said a single word, except for that one weird scene where they did not make him sing.
Yeah, see, this actually, I lied. This is the worst movie ever. The fish man didn't sing. Aquaman, let Aquaman sing.
Like, if they were to make him sing, I would have accepted if they just made him make Chewbacca noises to the music.
No, see, I was hoping they would just have, like, a big, like, ha, like, voice that was, like, actually, like, really good.
Yeah.
To make it really funny. But, no. Sadly, no.
I was so disappointed in that scene. That was so sad.
I was like, if you're gonna do it, you gotta go all the way. You gotta make the fish man sing.
And speaking of the main character, I will say what I'm glad they did is, of course, they incorporate her muteness into, because it is important for her character in terms of how she
Yeah.
relates to him, right? But they don't like her character arc is not like overcoming that. Right?
Yeah.
Because, like, how many disability things is it where, like, you know, the whole character arc is, you know, oh, growing past your disability or whatever. Like, that's the only fucking character arc that they ever do with this kind of stuff, right? So
Yeah.
that's not what they do here, which is good. So, yeah.
I'm also happy. Oh yeah, another thing is that it's also interesting looking at this from like the racism angle too, because
Oh yeah, this was kind of before civil rights.
yeah, because there's like lines like, there Zelda is like Eliza's best friend and everything, and she gets called the help basically.
Yeah.
And there's a line spoken by Zod. I don't know what his.
We're just gonna call him Zod.
By Zod, where he's like, where Zelda's like, I don't have any brothers and sisters, and he's like, that's not normal for your people, is
I know.
it?
I'm just like, oof.
I was just like,
Oh my
holy shit!
God.
We're going this route. Okay, we're
Yep.
going this route with this man. Okay.
And then you look at like Fishman, and it's also like Eliza's basically proving that he is a person
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
deep down and everything. So it's also interesting from that angle too, with because it's like in the end, he's still a person. He still has rights. You can't just be torturing
Yeah.
and like claiming he's an other or dissecting him basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Giles is gay. So we've
Oh,
got all the others banding together.
Yep.
I'm happy Giles survives at the end. Oh, we should have mentioned, Valen, can you put like a spoiler warning at some point?
Okay. But yeah, I think that stuff is, and again, it's not just. Well, yeah, I mean, what I said before about Eliza sort of applies to everyone. Where again, it's not
Yeah.
like their character arcs are overcoming, you know, their institutionalized, fucking, not segregation. That's the wrong word. What's the word? Why am I
Institutionalized otherness,
No.
I guess.
What's the word?
Abuse?
Discrimination.
Oh,
Yes, thank
discrimination.
you. Okay, I'm stupid. I'm tired. Yeah. It's a part of their character, but it's not their character entirely. So that's good. Yeah, I don't think I have really any complaints for anything.
No, I don't think there's anything.
Mm-mm.
There's just some parts I couldn't watch, like the fingers
Yeah, it was
and
pretty.
the cat.
It was pretty.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. No, actually, okay, because I was eating something and literally I was like, I started eating it like right when the fingers stuff was happening, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna turn around and keep eating this. So
Was it the cinnamon roll?
no,
It was something else.
sure. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know, anything else anyone has to say, or shall we do ratings?
I guess
which
we'll
we
go
have
to
not done
rating.
in a very long time.
Yeah. How do we rate movies again? I don't remember.
Well, when it'll
Oh
be
my
the next
God.
time will be February, assumingly.
No, we have next week.
Oh, true.
Kick-Ass was the last one we rated. That's so weird.
Yeah. I am actually okay. I guess I can go first.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm kind of conscious about this now because I feel like this is almost like a default for me, because I've also noticed like during like all the shows that I watched this year, I've also been kind of rating them on my own time, and I'm like, man, I keep rating them the same number. But
That's okay.
I'm gonna give this a high 8.
Okay.
Vibes.
I think I'm also going to give this a high 8. It's a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the weird one. Give it a 9.
I did consider.
It's a good thing because I picked it. So
I also considered a 9 too,
Yeah.
but then All right. You heard it here, folks. If you were thinking of watching this movie, watch it.
Just be warned, it can be quite gruesome.
Yeah. And you can watch it on Prime with ads.
Oh yeah, can we talk about the ads?
Yeah, so we watched this together using the Prime with ads because we're poor. And yeah, it was actually really funny because it kept popping up at like the worst times. And it was like the same, like, okay, the first ad was for fucking Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, which is the most like,
yeah, that was
why? Let's pick like the Transformers movie that like everyone says is the worst, that was also obviously not out like now, not even out when this movie came out, fucking out like in 2009. Like, hello, why? And then there was like, let's see, there was like two
Hallmark
things
movies,
about like,
I think.
what?
There was like Hallmark movies, like the love movies.
Oh yeah,
and
a lot of shit like that that looked terrible. And then like there was like some AIDS like protection drug, and then there was like 5 fucking ads about a goddamn shingles vaccine. Like,
yeah. And we're just like, we are not the target audience for this yet.
No.
Wait another 20 years, okay?
Probably for like
25 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh god,
like
that's the fact that you basically just like said that like we're gonna in like 20 years are gonna be almost 50 is like a horrifying thought to me right now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck.
Oh god.
I am sorry.
Okay.
Will we still be doing this in 20 years?
I don't fucking know.
I'm sure we will. We'll need something to occupy our time.
That's true.
Will you have eventually visited me within that time?
Hopefully. I would like to hope so.
It still hasn't happened. I'm not bitter. Anyway, are we ready for the next thing?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh
Yes.
god. This will be interesting.
Yes. Oh yeah, Mai, what's your replacement?
Oh yeah, so I don't remember when I saw like something about this. Oh no, wait. It was one of the YouTube channels that I watched did a review about this, and I was like, oh yeah, I've always meant to watch this, but so I didn't watch the movie review. But we're gonna watch Stardust, which is from 2007. It's an adaptation of a Neil Gaiman book that I have also wanted to read.
Wait, I think I've read this book. Hold on.
Oh, really?
I might be confusing it with something though.
It's by Neil Gaiman.
Never mind. This is not what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
No, I have not read this. Okay, I don't know this. Okay, never mind.
That would have been interesting though.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what this is, so okay.
I've watched this movie I think 2 times. I enjoyed it. I think the first time I watched it was like in 2007 or 2008. So
Oh wow.
yeah, when it came, like about the time it came out. So yeah, this will be interesting.
It's a little bit funny because I'm going from like one fairy tale to another fairy tale, basically.
Okay.
Fantasy, yeah.
Something like that. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay. Well, we have one. Next week will be a normal movie, and then the week after that will be the final week of December somehow already. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a wrap up. So what will our last film be of the year? It will be, oh my god. This is going to be interesting. So...
Wait, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Make it a surprise.
It's a surprise? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All I can say is that me and Valen have watched this movie.
Yeah.
Mai has not watched this movie.
But I find it hilarious that this is what we're ending on.
Wait, again, you haven't seen anything related to this at all, have you?
I've watched like part of one movie, but that's it.
Oh boy.
And I think it was like one of the ones where it was important that I knew the context, but I never got the context.
Okay, whatever. What a fucking end note. Alright, yeah, so tune in next week for something. Hey,
Oh my god.
it'll be short,
Bye.
so there's that.
Bye.
Oh boy.